Alright, just a quick little update. Amazing things have been happening in the Templeview Farms. Let's see if I can get, whoop, look at that. Did some fixing, got all that nicely done to make it just like these other decks, which is nice. And the reason why we're doing all this is because of that little guy. Peter, what are you doing? Crazy dog. Alright, that's a nice update. So, my wife and I were in the greenhouse, and look at this. Greenhouse growing is so beautiful and relaxing. My wife and I were in here just watching the plants grow, and we noticed a couple of things. Let me just zoom in here. So what we have right there is the beginning of berries. I was so excited I started really looking, and all of a sudden I found all these berries coming on. So raspberries start with that little flower. It gets touched by bugs, bees, in nature bees, and flies, and here bugs, and then those little flowers turn into raspberries. Ooh, look at that spider. Got a spider. That's kind of cool. Where'd he go? He's hiding. And I spent a little bit of time here last night, and I started looking at all these beautiful flowering raspberry plants. And I found it to be so relaxing. Look at that. That I was pretty impressed with the amount of action going on here. Look at that. Whoop. Up. So, like I said in previous videos, these dark skinned plants are the ones that are going to flower and produce fruit this year. These green plants are what's going to grow up, and those will produce fruit next year. So, quick little garden update there, and my wife and I were not in here doing raspberries and blueberries, but rather we were in here doing our garden this year, which is probably going to be the next project. Look at that. Raised garden beds. Look at these blackberries up in here. Oh yeah. Gooseberries are doing awesome. Oh, got our first ladybug. Look at that. Nice. So this is all too exciting for me. And I was wondering, I could set up a live YouTube feed, set one of my GoPros up, like right here-ish, and we could just sit here and watch the plants grow. Look at this jungle every single day. It's different. It's amazing. So leave some comments in the after this video and let me know if that would be something that would be interesting. I think it would be awesome. I mean, my wife and I work for large corporations, and we find ourselves watching YouTube channels that are relaxing. So if that's something that is of interest, let me know. In the meantime, look at that, go up. My vents are working. It's probably 72 in here, 8 o'clock in the morning. And for those of you that left a comment about that piece of plastic, I'm on it. I'm not even going to film that. I just got to staple that back together. And then the next big project is raised garden beds. Really nice raised garden beds. And I just want to clarify a couple of things. I had a couple of comments about this building construction and if it meets the blah blah blah, and I'm just going to be honest with you, that's not me. I'm not your lawyer. I'm not your town council. I'm not your contractor. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm not even a professional fix-it guy or a handyman. All I knew was I needed something, I made something, and it's withstood an amazing amount of wind. And my favorite saying is, as this project develops, after a year and a half, I am well happy with its performance. And as it develops, we're probably going to get into fixing these shelves that I built. These shelves are not correctly built for the weight ratio. I used these pieces of lattice to hold up the plants, and that's just not enough support when these pots are always moist and whatnot. So just to clarify, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm learning as I go. I appreciate you being along for the journey. A couple of people asked, how do you attach the 2x4s to the poles? And I literally, once I had these cement pillars, which you can really see a good detail there, I guess. Once you have these cement pillars in place and leveled, then I literally had my daughters holding this pole while I screwed on the bottom and the middle 2x4s, and one daughter would hold that pole, another daughter would hold the corner pole. I realized when I got to the corners that I had a significant building that was wobbly as all get out, and I kept going around the bottom and the middle courses, kind of held these poles up, and I climbed onto a ladder and put in the top courses. And of course I had to have some of my boards just holding the thing up because it was so wobbly. And then you guys were asking about how does this plastic tarp, this is actually professional greenhouse plastic. I don't know if you can see that. How does it hold, how does it sheen the water off the roof? Well, it doesn't. You can see right there, there's from the last rain, and here's another one from the last rain right there. And this professional greenhouse plastic, I've walked on top of it. It is pretty durable, to say the least. And it kind of keeps the plastic from shaking in our gentle winds in the springtime and the fall when we get these monsoons. So I was nervous at first about these big pools of water that collect in between each of these 2x8s, but after having every one of them filled, I'm not nervous anymore. I mean, you can see the rings. I mean, we've had 400 gallons of water in these things. I mean, holy mackerel. And sometimes when we get nervous, we'll take a hose and a ladder on the back deck and siphon them out. But for the most part, I just leave them. And this roof has had 6 inches of snow on it, you know, for an hour before the sun hits, and then it warms up. This is not a heated greenhouse. It's actually just a greenhouse. I tried to heat it. Yeah, it's not worth it. All of this greenery will turn brown and enjoy seasons. Which I think plants enjoy. So let me know, just a quick update on that. If you'd like to see these plants growing day after day. I have another GoPro, so it'd be easy to hook up. Again, thanks for hanging out with Templeview Farms, and I'll see you on the next project. So that is the state of our old fences right there, and you can see that they, not knowing what I'm doing, I put those 2x6s into the ground about 2 feet. Some of them are cemented in and some of them are just pounded into the dirt because I couldn't determine what was the better way of doing that. Here's some more of those fences, and those fences are 2 foot high, and with some recycled tin I scored, I got a whole truckload for $100, which was probably a 2,400 square foot building, roof and sides from a farmer. He wanted to rebuild this barn, and this tin was what was siding and roofing it. Some of the pieces are that old 1960s corrugated tin that you can literally walk on, and some of them are that cheap, crappy stuff that he had to replace over the years that's so thin you can bend it. So that was the old fence. And what I'm going to do with this tin is coming up in the next project. Those tin fences is what lined the edge of that pool. We had like a little gate right there getting into the pool, and then the fence came along this area here and matched up to that and came in along this deck near our house. We had a little gate that went to the beach house, and then the gate stopped there, and the gate stopped here, and it went along this edge over to the house. And we had 2 pugs at that time, and their backyard was just this area of grass around the corner to another gate, or to another fence. I'll walk you over there. So it the fence kind of followed this ridge right here. There was a gate leading to the trampoline, and then it kind of just followed along this path, and then we had 2 large gates. My thought process was we're probably going to need a larger gate to drive a truck through or a piece of equipment. And then that thing just blew all apart, so we permanently mounted the gate. But it pretty much went to right there and back over to the AC unit. And you can see I've been disassembling these panels and collecting the tin for the next project, which I'm so excited about. So we're going to put in raised beds all along here, and follow us along while we do that.